everyone, welcome again to Breathe and Bake. This is our series on the art of mindful cooking, where we talk about different tips and ideas to help you organize your space or cook mindfully or eat mindfully that will help with the overall process of bringing intention and mindfulness into your meals. So last week we talked about having an organized pantry as a way to be supportive of mindful cooking. And today we are going to talk about the rest of your kitchen organization. Just like with the pantry, what I like to do once or twice a year is really pull everything out of kitchen cabinets and the kitchen drawers. What this lets me see is really how much stuff I have in the kitchen. Many of us have a number of things that we purchase and don't use, so that is a lovely reminder of that. It helps to see if I have too many of something. Somehow it seems like mugs tend to multiply on their own in a cabinet, even though I haven't bought any in a very long time. They just tend to get gifted and grow, and then all of a sudden we have a ridiculous amount of mugs. So it helps to really declutter and narrow down and find things that you have not used, that you're not going to use, to then donate to folks that will use them, and then to have a cleaner and clearer, more kitchen space. The next thing that I recommend is to look at how you really move in the kitchen. So when you are going to be chopping things in your kitchen, is there a particular space on your counter that you use, depending on how much counter space you have, right? So if you have a few options, what is your go-to every time that you're chopping something? That might be the best place somewhere nearby to store your cutting boards and to store your knives, because that is kind of your intuitive place that you go to when you're doing that task. Another thing that I recommend is grouping things that typically go together with each other, so they're easier to locate and navigate. An example of this is that I have all of my pasta making equipment together. So I have like 3 different pasta rollers, I have a pasta drying rack, I have a gnocchi maker, or gnocchi board, I guess you would say. So all of those items are together. So that way, if I'm making pasta, I'm not trying to figure out where is this particular item. They're all together. Depending on what kind of foods that you enjoy, this could be all of your baking things together. It could be different steamers together, or wok, different things like that. So again, making it so that when you are going to prepare a particular kind of food or a particular kind of meal, that you're like, oh, this is where my items are. You're not making it more difficult for yourself to be in that cooking process and to navigate your way around your kitchen. If you find that you don't have enough room in your kitchen for all your items, I think it's a good time to really take a step back and to think about, am I using all of these things? Are all of these things important to me? Do these things contribute to my cooking process, to the way that I eat or that I would like to eat? To make sure that you are utilizing the space that you have the best that you can. Something that I try to keep in mind for myself when I am looking at different kitchen items, because they are really fun to look at and to glance through when you're at the store, is there anything that I have in my kitchen right now that can serve the same function that I could do this with? or does this require a whole new gadget that I do not have? So really thinking about how you're spending your time, how you're spending your money, and how you are spending the limited space that you have in your kitchen can make all the difference in creating the kind of cooking environment that feels more calm, more intuitive, more of a place where you can just relax and be in and not be stressed when you're looking around. And then the final thing that helps me have a more mindful space is to keep my counters as tidy as I can. And again, I think that is going to depend on how much kitchen counter space that you have, how much cabinet space that you have, and also what items you use the most. So for me, my KitchenAid mixer is always on my counter because that is something that I use very frequently in my cooking and baking. So for me, it makes sense for that to be on my counter, even though it takes up a lot of real estate there. For other people, that might be something that they put away in a cabinet because they're going to take it out once a month or so. Something else for me that I am fine taking up space on my countertops is fresh herbs or plants and things like that. For me, that helps create the kind of atmosphere that I want when I'm cooking. It reminds me to use the fresh herbs that I have available to me. For me, I don't need a completely clear counter, but I want the things that I utilize most or that contribute to the kind of space that I want to create in the kitchen. So that might be something that's helpful for you to take a step back, look at your counter and decide, are these the things that I want surrounding me every day when I cook? Or are there things that I want to switch out? I hope this was helpful to you. Join us again when we talk about more tips and ideas to help create a mindful cooking environment in your kitchen. Thank you for joining. Take care.